Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you another 2v2 replay from StarCraft 2 beta right now. This is going to be a double Terran match, Gifted and myself, Crota versus Colex and an nluck. So nluck spawning as the Protoss player, Colex spawning as a Terran player. So it's TT versus TP. Taking a look at the whole entire game right now, pretty much I'm trying to figure out how the balance really works in a multiplayer. Terran is a very viable army. I really like how Terran plays. Gonna go ahead and just show my thoughts on the game so far, and I believe this game is pretty interesting or pretty lengthy. I'm trying to remember 15 minutes. No, perhaps it's a different replay that I'm trying to remember. This is the game 2 out of 3 games that I played with Gifted very recently today. Colex going for a barracks first build. So barracks first, not getting that supply depot first, not doing that front door seal. Perhaps he feels a little bit safe in not having to do that front door seal quite just yet. And with that barracks first, it also opens you up to be able to get an earlier orbital command. So perhaps that's what Colex's build is. Let's take a look at this and see how it works. He should probably cancel that next SCV. If he cancels this SCV, he should be able to start building that orbital command now. And perhaps that would have been a better choice, getting an early orbital command, and instead of producing that earlier marine right there. I'll have to try that build sometime, getting that earlier orbital command by getting barracks first before supply depot. You may be able to get more minerals that way, even though and you sacrifice your lost SCV production for that orbital command as it's being built up. Supply depot now up. Both the Terran player is pretty much a standard army on both sides. Gifted doing a double supply depot and getting a bunker as well. Gifted really liking bunkers more than I like bunkers. Gifted really likes bunkers just in order to be able to salvage them and hold on to them. SCV now moving out. SCV gonna come into this main base and do some scouting. What I'm really looking for is how many gateways there are. Is there a cybernetics core? How many gas he's currently producing with? Where is that chrono boost being used? If that chrono boost is being used on the gateway, I know that he's trying to produce more zealots for a larger army. Come in quickly, look around this whole entire base. He's microwaving with those probes, and now once again heading back in. So I'm gonna try to run around with this SCV, continue to run around with the zealot, chasing him, trying to get as much information I can out of this base. Gifted, saying 2 racks back, bad block on top. So I think he has a bad block on top. Not 100% sure what exactly that means. Taking a look back over here, we have a single barracks right now and that bunker. So my army is currently getting that tech lab, trying to figure out how to really seal off this front door. Perhaps I should have moved in a little bit more. I think units are able to push in right through here, try to squeeze in some of those units as long as they're in a single file line. I do in fact have my orbital command, so compared to the other Terran players, I have that orbital command a little bit earlier than my partner and my opponent. Single gateway, finally getting the second gateway, 1 gas up. So it looks like he's going to be trying to perhaps go for stalkers. Stalkers, getting that cybernetics core, so I know that I'm going to need to produce some marauders in just a moment. Getting an additional barracks into play. Trying to just really test out the infantry, also getting a factory as well. I am now running from double gas. My SCV count now at 14. Oh no, now at 17. 2 mules calling down in order to just try to harvest as many minerals as I possibly can. I should probably stop that mule, as that mule is going to die. Oh, it returns it, and then dies just right there. Also getting an engineering bay as well, so an engineering bay in order to get that attack upgrade. Opponent or nluck now massing those zealots, so a very large number of zealots, and me with now the reapers. I'm gonna pump reapers for toss because I think he is in fact getting a lot of those reapers. So just trying to produce 1 or 2. Those reapers dealing that magical 18 damage per double pistol shot, range of 4.5. And he's also getting a solid marine counter. SCV is currently sitting right there, also getting a factory as well. And let me respond. Shoutcasting our game right now. Alright, so whenever I'm shoutcasting the game, I am most likely online, so people can in fact message me. So I'm telling my friend that I am currently shoutcasting that game. Have some Reapers right now, Reapers and Marauders. I'm going to go ahead and try to move out, perhaps try to do some harassment. And I realize that there is this open position right here. So 4 Reapers against this army of Zealots, and there's also a single Sentry here. So that Sentry going to use that Force Field and that Guardian Shield. Very, very nice abilities. Stalker in there as well, and now here comes this army. So we have an army of a couple Marauders and a couple Marines trying to push in on this front door. We have triple barracks from Gifted, so Gifted doing triple barracks, trying to mass as many units as possible. It doesn't have any tech labs on those barracks, so just double pumping Marines. Does a scan on that front door. That front door pretty well protected at this point in the game, but we'll see how this really works out. Me, on the other hand, I've come in with those Reapers, and I quickly take down one of those pylons, trying to figure out what exactly my strategy is going to be. Those Stalkers deal attacking fairly quickly. I'm going to move around with those Reapers, try to take down those pylons, perhaps try to move it around and micro those, but once again, those Stalkers coming out, giving me a little bit of a problem, trying to get back to that high ground, trying to take down those, deciding not to take down those destructible rocks, because I do not want to open him up to that high ground yet and enable him to take that secondary expansion. Back over here in this front door right now, just a lot of SCVs trying to repair that bunker and taking a lot of just trying to get healed back up, and now it was a very, very clean push back. Reapers, on the other hand, want to move out and perhaps try to intercept any units coming in. So those Marauders are currently just rallied, and one of those Reapers goes off and is going to chase to his death right there. And now I'm going to go ahead and move out with these Reapers trying to fight back against these Marauders and that single Marine. Not going to be the best. Marauder down to 17-5-2, down it goes, and now I'm going to have a couple Marauders push on this front door, and perhaps I can get some damage dealt. I see a single supply depot with that additional supply drop ability on it, and I want to deny him food. So I destroy that, and now he loses 16 food off of that one particular supply depot. So you got to really be careful where you do your supply drops. If you do a supply drop on a front door supply depot, know that it can get focused down and targeted very quickly. Now a couple Marauders and Stalkers perhaps going to try to push again off to that north-hand side. Gifted, I hear some attacking, trying to destroy these destructible rocks over here with those Marines, and now trying to once again lower and raise back up right now. Me, on the other hand, I have an army of siege tanks and Marauders. I'm thinking that those siege tanks are going to be a fairly good counter towards those Zealots at this point in the game, as the siege tanks are doing 15 damage and they attack fairly quickly. So I think a siege tank now in a 1v1 fight beats a Zealot in terms of damage. So the Crucio or the siege tank is upgraded over the original tank in the original StarCraft. So double factory, double tech lab, trying to produce more tanks. Gonna lift off this command center, get it to this high ground, and then re-enable it. Right now, I'm taking a note from David Kim. I'm gonna take and destroy these destructible rocks right here, and try to set up a position right here. I do not know that nluck in fact has an expansion right here, so trying to get that expansion, I'm gonna make nluck really just pay for this expansion, move up onto this higher ground, and I quickly see that there is an expansion. I'm like, oh, this is just absolutely luck for me. Sieging those siege tanks, and now just blasting away towards these positions right now. He's gonna lose that photon cannon, lose that probe right there, and now I can just start shelling away at this poor Nexus. Units of Colex now trying to move back in, trying to take these units down. Stalkers, on the other hand, trying to shoot in, not realizing that there's not enough range on them, taking down a lot of those Stalkers. So what, 5-6 Stalkers quickly getting destroyed. Scanner sweep trying to come in, Stalkers trying to shoot in, trying to deal the damage, but not really able to do that much right now. So Marauders just on this high ground, able to deal a lot of damage, and now I have some siege tanks and Marines coming back in. Here come those Marauders trying to come in, trying to get in on this high ground. Siege tanks just dealing a lot of that damage still, just shooting, continuing to shoot. Oh, that's one thing that I didn't notice before. Siege tanks, when they are in siege mode, you can see the timer on when they're going to attack next. Hopefully I can bring that back up. So if you take a look at this right here, when it fires, you see that little clock rotation, fire. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I did not notice earlier for siege tank. I believe it's only 4 siege tanks. I clicked on a Stalker to try to do a check on that, and it did not in fact move. Now more siege tanks destroying these destructibles rocks over here. nluck gonna lose this Nexus and this pylon that he invested so heavily in. On the other side of the map, Gifted now doing a supply or a drop with Marines and Marauders, and this Marine Marauder drop just hitting at the right place at the right time as Colex was trying to defend his partner's expansion and quickly loses it. Once again, dropping those units, gonna go ahead and perhaps he should have continued to engage right there because those medevacs have so many hit points. Stay tuned for part 2 and the conclusion of this replay between Gifted, myself, Crota, nluck, and I believe Colex here on Kulas Ravine.